Sure.
with?
Sure.
Yeah. My name is Jason Dudash. That's Jason, Jason, Dudash, Dudash. I'm the West Coast Director of the Freedom Foundation. And go ahead.
Ryan Walters, CEO of the Teacher Freedom Alliance, RYANWALTERS.
And which is your organization is again?
The Freedom Foundation.
Freedom Foundation.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are opposing the one-day strike here?
Yes.
Please tell us why.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to thank everybody for being out here this morning. My name is Jason Dudash. I'm the West Coast Director of the Freedom Foundation. And my entire job description at the Freedom Foundation can be summed up in 3 words, and that's fight government unions. And over the last decade, I found that one of the most effective ways of doing that is to just showcase their own behavior, which is why we're out here this morning. What we're seeing across the street from us is what teacher unions represent today, which is chaos and division. CSEA is throwing a temper tantrum because they've lost power. That's what this is all about. It's about politics and power. It's certainly not about teaching conditions, it's not about teacher pay, and it's not about students. We know this because they're only out here for about 2 hours this morning and are going to be spending the rest of the day canvassing for all the liberal candidates in the area. What this is definitely does not represent, though, is most teachers. Most teachers are in the classroom this morning. Most teachers continually prioritize students over union politics. But regardless of that, what is happening across the street is always the only viewpoint that's ever represented to the public. There's never been a group to speak for the teachers that are in the classrooms continually working for our students, which is why earlier this year we launched the Teacher Freedom Alliance, and I am happy to pass it off to my colleague, former Secretary of Education for Oklahoma and new CEO of the Teacher Freedom Alliance, Ryan Walters.
Jason. Let's be clear. The unions are out here today fighting for power. They're trying to shut down school and education so they can get more money. You've got good teachers in the classroom there trying to teach today. You have parents that drop their kids off to school, but the teachers' unions are out here because they want to push an ideology on your kids, because they want power, they want control. We're here to defeat the unions. We want to put education back where it should be, where we're focused on academics, we're focused on the kids. But what you're seeing today, we should be talking about the teachers in the classroom that are fighting back against this radicalism. They're out calling the teachers this morning scabs. The teachers that are out trying to teach kids this morning, the union is attacking them. The union will use any kind of power or coercion to keep their place in power, to keep their control. We're going to stand with parents. We're going to stand with members of the community that want their kids to have a good education. The unions are standing in the way of that. We're here to fight back, standing with parents, standing with the community. You're seeing the ridiculous nature of our teachers' unions, the radicalism, fighting back against that. That's why we're here. That's why these folks are here. We want kids to get a good education, minus union politics.
So how would you suggest that teachers like these who are striking and are kind of at an impasse with their administration, how would you advise them to try to get whatever it is that they're looking for?
Well, number one, they need to get back to work, okay? They need to all get back in the classroom and teach these kids. There's plenty of ways to talk about salaries and things like that. That's not what this strike is about. They want money for their union bosses. They want control. They want to force all the teachers in the building to join their union. There is plenty. The teachers are being paid. They need to take administrative pay, put it in the classrooms, put it in teacher pay. But shutting down a school and taking kids as ransom and saying, we're not going to teach these kids till we get what we want, that's not the way education should work. You should always put kids first in what you do. Don't threaten the kids' education to get what you want.
And I'd also encourage you to go across the street and ask these people on the picket line where they're from. Because most of them are not from Colorado Springs. CSEA had to bus people in from around the state to be at the picket line this morning. And we know that because most teachers are still in the classrooms. They're happy with this new arrangement, not being any longer beholden to the union. And just as a side note too, one of my buddies this morning sent me a Facebook post of one of the organizers here this morning, reminding protesters not to drink and do drugs while on the picket line, which I think tells you a little bit and speaks for itself about who's actually out here this morning.
One of the things that we've heard from candidates regarding the strike is the influence of outside kind of interest groups, like specifically the NEA. But I mean, Freedom Foundation, Teacher Freedom Alliance, aren't you guys just kind of a conservative or libertarian NEA? I mean, what's your interest in this Colorado Springs School District?
Absolutely not. Our interests are the kids in the classroom. Our interests are the teachers that are here to teach. We will not allow unions to continue to hijack our schools and try to turn this country into a Marxist dumpster fire. That's what the unions want to do. We will fight back against that. We'll make classrooms great again. We will continue to promote American values in the classroom unapologetically. That's what the country wants. That's what parents want. That's who we will stand with. We will always fight back against Randy Weingarten and her thugs that are out trying to intimidate people, and we won't stand for it anymore. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, Courtney.